Okay, so have you ever scrolled through Instagram and been like, wait a minute, is that ad dot talking directly to me?
Like it's reading your mind.
Yeah, kind of creepy, but also kind of brilliant, right? Well, on today's deep dive, we're going to untangle the wild world of Instagram ads in 2024.
We've got some really interesting info, actually, that breaks down exactly how to make those ads work for you, not against you.
No more feeling lost in the algorithm jungle. We've got a machete, people.
That's a great way to put it. It can definitely feel overwhelming with all the changes and updates and...
And new platforms popping up every 5 minutes.
Exactly. Like, is Instagram even relevant anymore?
Right. It's like, should we all just jump ship to the next big thing?
You know, it's funny you say that because a lot of folks are wondering the same thing, but here's the deal. Instagram is constantly evolving. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
So it's still a major player.
Major! Think about it. Instagram is all about engagement. People are sharing, liking, commenting, DMing. That's a goldmine for advertisers.
Makes sense. But even if Instagram's still the place to be, the advertising landscape feels like it's changing faster than ever. What's different about 2024?
One of the biggest things is the level of targeting. We're not just talking about basic demographics anymore, like age or location. It's way more sophisticated.
Like, how sophisticated are we talking?
Think about it like this. You can target people based on their interests, their behaviors, even the other brands they follow. It's all about that deep understanding of your audience.
Our source actually kept saying that, deep understanding of your audience.
Right, and it's more important now than ever.
So, like, give me an example. Let's say I'm selling handmade jewelry.
Okay, perfect example. So with this hyper-targeted approach, you could target people who follow other jewelry makers, who engage with fashion content, maybe even folks who attend craft fairs or live in areas with a strong artisan scene.
Whoa, so it's not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Exactly. It's about getting laser-focused with your message.
Okay, that's amazing. But how do we even reach these perfectly curated audiences? Isn't the algorithm this big, mysterious beast that controls everything?
It can definitely feel that way, right? But here's the thing. You don't need to understand every single nuance of the algorithm to make it work for you. Just the core stuff.
What's the core stuff?
Well, one of the biggest factors is engagement. Instagram loves content that keeps people on the platform longer.
Okay, so like long-form videos.
That's definitely an option, but it can be simpler than that. Think about using things like carousel posts with multiple images or videos.
Ah, so instead of just one static image, I give people a reason to keep swiping and exploring.
Exactly. The longer people engage with your content, the more Instagram thinks, hey, this is valuable stuff. Let's show it to more people.
So engagement equals more visibility. Got it. But the algorithm's always changing, right? How do we keep up?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've got to stay updated, read industry blogs, follow experts, experiment with new features.
So basically, never stop learning.
Pretty much. But don't get overwhelmed. The basic principles stay pretty consistent.
Okay, that's reassuring. So we're reaching the right people, we're keeping them engaged. But let's be real, Instagram is a visual platform.
Oh, absolutely. Visuals are king. If your content isn't eye-catching, people are going to keep scrolling right past it.
And our source had some really good advice on this, right?
They did. Think about your visuals like your storefront. A blurry photo or a generic graphic. That's like having a dusty, dimly lit window display. No one's going to be drawn in.
Okay, and what's the equivalent of a bright, shiny storefront with tons of foot traffic?
High-quality photos, eye-catching graphics, maybe even short, attention-grabbing videos.
And what about captions?
Captions are key. They're like the friendly salesperson who welcomes people into your store and tells them what's so special about your products.
Love that analogy. Okay, so we've got our visuals, our targeting, our engaging content. But now let's talk about the practical side. Budgeting. Any tips?
Yeah, budgeting can be tricky. First things first. Know your limits. Figure out what you can realistically spend without breaking the bank.
Right. Don't go all in and then regret it later.
Exactly. Once you've got your budget, set realistic goals based on what you can afford. And here's a pro tip. Remember that ad costs can change throughout the year.
Oh, like because of holidays and stuff?
Yep. If you're trying to run a big campaign during peak seasons like Black Friday or Christmas, expect to pay a premium. It's like trying to book a flight during Thanksgiving week.
Prices go through the roof.
Exactly. Plan ahead, be strategic with your timing, and factor those seasonal variations into your budget.
Smart. Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here. Audience, algorithm, visuals, budgeting. But our source also mentioned testing and adapting, which sounds kind of vague.
It's all about continuously improving, really. Think of it like this. You bake a cake, you taste the batter, you adjust the oven temperature, maybe add a bit more milk if it's too dry. It's the same with ads. You're constantly experimenting, seeing what works, and making small tweaks along the way.
So like I might test different ad images or headlines to see which one gets more clicks.
Exactly. Or you might try tweaking your targeting settings to see if you can reach an even more receptive audience. It's all about learning and refining as you go.
So to bring it all together, nailing Instagram ads in 2024 is kind of like baking the perfect cake.
I like that. A delicious, perfectly targeted cake that your ideal customers can't
And
resist.
the more you bake, the better your cakes get.
Exactly. Experience is everything.
Awesome. So to recap, we've learned that successful Instagram advertising in 2024 is all about deeply understanding your audience, working with the algorithm, not against it, creating killer visuals that stop the scroll, budgeting wisely, and constantly testing and refining your approach.
And never stop learning. Instagram is always changing, so staying curious and adaptable is key.
Totally agree. Now, here's something to think about as you embark on your own Instagram ad adventures. What's one creative ad idea you could use to promote your passion project? Think about your target audience, your brand aesthetic, your unique message. What would make them stop scrolling and take notice? Let those creative juices flow. And we'll see you back here for our next deep dive.